Huh.
Hello there. For tonight's shave, we're going to be using my Ever Ready 500 PBT that's been re-knotted with a 20 millimeter, or I'm sorry, this is an 18 millimeter Golden Nib Finest F2. The razor tonight is an old favorite, nice reliable friend, my 51, the Victor 6/8 square point. And the cream tonight is Taylor of Old Bond Street's Grapefruit shaving cream. Now this is a wonderful, I think, wonderful grapefruit scent. It's got that tiny bit of sweetness and that tartness. Just, it smells like a grapefruit. You know, it smells good. It was given to me by a subscriber and a viewer, a long time subscriber and viewer that's been with me for a long time. He sent me some other things before. I really appreciate it. He's not, you know, I've asked him a couple of times and he's always said, you know, I'm not worried that people know my name. I just wanted to give you this, you know, send you this, and I really appreciate it. He knows who he is. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I've been wanting to try Taylor of Old Bond Street creams for a long time and just have not ever gotten around to it. There's so much out there. And the grapefruit scent has come to have a good following of people that like it. So I'm not used to using a cream in a tub. So I've seen people do everything from dip their brush in it to all kind of stuff. What I'm going to do is just take my finger. It's clean. I just got out of the shower. Hadn't picked my nose or anywhere else. And I'm going to take a little dab about like that. I'm going to bury it in my brush. I'm going to make sure I got a little bit of water in my bowl, because one of the mistakes that I think a lot of people make with a shaving cream is they don't give it enough water. Shaving creams lather really, really fast. And because of that, there's a tendency not to get enough water in them, in my opinion. And so you get things like irritation. Now trust me, you can still get irritation if you're allergic to the essential oils in whatever, the cream or the soap or the aftershave or whatever it is. Then you can still get irritation. But it's been my experience that if you use enough water in a soap or a cream, and now that has lathered up really, really fast. If you use enough water in a soap or a cream, and I'm going to work this just a bit more because I think it would benefit from it. But if you use enough water, and I've said that 3 times, in a soap or a cream, I think it helps to kind of mitigate any kind of irritation you might get. It helps to lessen irritation, or it might even, depending on how much of an irritant it is, you might not even have a problem with it at all. I think a lot of times when you don't put enough water on your face and it's dry, or the soap begins to dry, you get more irritation. And I don't know, I don't claim to be a scientist or understand, but I think that the moisture on your face also, as well as the moisture in the shaving cream, can act like a barrier of sorts. I don't know, I just know that. And that's a lovely lather. And the scent stays on your face. The scent is the same strength on your face as in the bowl or the tub. Just lovely. That's a lovely, fresh, citrusy grapefruit scent. Wonderful. That right there is almost, if it was just a tiny bit stronger, it would be the perfect scent strength for me. Anyway, excited to try this. It's the TOBS creams. Have an excellent reputation, and to be honest with you, I'm getting very little slickness out of this cream. Now, I like slickness, and I think it's important, especially with a straight. But there is, it's a little slicker than I thought. There is a limited amount of slick, there is a minimum amount of slickness that a product requires. In order to function properly, and not everything can be uber slick. And there's nothing. So what I can tell you is, I'd like to have more slickness, but it feels as if despite the lack of slickness, I'm getting good glide, and those are usually related. Slickness is actually how slick the soap and protective the soap is, and glide is how the razor moves across your face. That's the way I define them. And although, like I said, I'm not getting a ton of slickness, I'm getting good glide off of this. So, not bad. This scent is, like I said, it's lovely. I think the lather is wonderful. The consistency of it. Now, if I were to use a bit less water, it would even be thicker of a consistency, but I don't generally go. I'm working it just a bit more just to see what I can get, and besides, I have a habit of doing that between passes anyway. But I could have used about half of what I put in this bowl cream-wise, so it's gonna last a long time, I can tell you that. And a bit more work on that soap there, on that bowl, has completely changed the consistency of this lather. There's a much more beautiful sheen on it. There's a tackiness to it. It's got a good coating underneath the lather. See there, when I did this, you see that coating that's on my face? That, in my opinion, is a part of what people call cushion, where so they don't feel the razor as much on their face. That's my definitions. Yours may be different. Have at it. But that's my definition of those terms. And so, much slicker too. I don't know, maybe it's still not uber slick. Please don't misunderstand. But there's a lot more slickness there than there was. And I think maybe I needed to work the lather a bit more on that first pass. Because it totally changed the consistency of this lather. So, what I would say is that's a failure on my part, the lather product. Yeah, I said that. It's obvious. Not everybody bats 1,000 100% of the time. But I did get the water ratio right. This has a lovely face feel. Fairly soft face feel. Lovely. That's a wonderful cream. Now, I've read a couple of threads where several people said they had some irritation with this. A lot less than said they didn't, but several people, 4 or 5 in the thread, or 5 or 6 even. It was a large thread, 7 pages or so. I believe might have been like 5. But anyway, I have no kind of reaction whatsoever. My face feels lovely. But there's just, what I can't get over is there is such a boatload of lather in my bowl. I've got 7 or 8 passes in this bowl, man. With that little bit of cream, so I know that next time I will use about half that. But what that tells me is that this cream will last a long time, and that means it's good value for the money. But what I like to show you, if the camera will pick it up, the lather's got a wonderful light, not like a tallow soap would, but a wonderful light type of sheen to it. You know what? I'm going to do that because I can. This will be my last pass, so why not? Lovely stuff. Thank you, my friend. You know who you are. I greatly appreciate this. It's lovely. Buffing over it is not a problem with the lather off of your face. So, all in all, I'm really glad I got to try this soap, this cream, because it's in my opinion, it's a pretty nice cream. I can tell you based just on this shave here. Now this is a first time use, but you know what? People complain all the time about, oh, people are doing videos and they're only doing a first time use and, you know, live with the product for 2 weeks or whatever. Well, you know what? I've got enough soaps in my den, and I've lathered enough soaps and creams in my den that it don't take me 2 weeks to be able to tell you whether the soap's any good. Unless it's a soap that is tricky about the water balance or something like that. You know, if I get the water balance right, I can tell first time I shave with it whether the stuff is any good, and I don't need 2 weeks. So you guys that want to harp on that, have at it. It means absolutely nothing to me. Because I know, you know, what I like in a soap, and it doesn't take me forever to figure that out. So, what I would say is, based on this shave, I'd buy this cream at, like, I think it's like $13. 13 or 14 bucks for a tub of it. Based on this shave, thinking how very little you need to make a lather with, that kind of stuff, that's a good value, in my opinion. That's a really good value for your money. So, I like that a lot. Alright. For the aftershave tonight, I'm going to stay light. And I'm going to use a homemade aftershave, lemon scented aftershave that I make. And it's basically a witch hazel base, and I know I'll miss some ingredients. So it's a witch hazel base with aloe vera gel, lovely, a ton of menthol crystals because I like menthol, glycerin, a bit of mineral oil, just a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol. Let's see, I know there's more, a couple more things in there that I can't recall right now. But it just leaves my face feeling nice and wonderful and smooth. That's a nice close shave. The menthol, I've got enough menthol in this to make a horse's eyes water. It's just it's wonderful. Right now I'm feeling the menthol rush on my face. I like that as well. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the shave with me. Thank you for coming along on my shave this evening. And God bless you. Thank you for the TOBS. It's really, really awesome gesture. Really, really wonderful of you. And I thank you a lot. Well, God bless you all. And I'll talk to you later.
Huh.